Good morning once again, gentlemen. I believe this is Monday, and as we used to do, from Monday to Friday, we meet in Ghana time, that is 4:30, to learn and discuss more about technical analysis. And yes, the past weeks has been so amazing and awesome, especially on an aspect of Ghanaians. Last week we were able to meet for a packed training conference, and it was so awesome. A lot of knowledge were impacted, and many people too showed up. They came in numbers and they learned whatever they deserve to know. Even though time couldn't permit us to do more than what we were expected to do, but we did our best, right? And I believe this is not going to be um, the first, this is not going to be the last. It's going to be a continuous thing that we are going to do, not only in Ghana, but we are going to start and then also end across the globe. We are going to go every part of the world to ensure that we trend the bottom line of cryptocurrency to every part, and especially our Royal community, and then also our lovely friends who would also want to be getting this opportunity to be educated. So, with due time, in due time, proper strategies would be ensured to be kept in place to ensure all these factors will be able to achieve. And with regards to that, I will use this opportunity to say we will be going to most parts of the world to do this business, and we are not going to be static. This is the time that we have to transfer our business from online to offline, for those offline to also see the demonstration. And mostly, I've come to realize that one-on-one lessons, those more impact and understandable as compared to online. Even though, yeah, because we are human beings and we believe in physical things, but online has become part of us. So we struggle to understand the concept of online, but it also helps. So as much as we are bridging these two gaps, we should also try hard to ensure that offline activities too will be reflected as well. Right. So today, by God's grace, you've been able to glance through a session that is about 2 months or getting to 3 months now, starting from the month of August. Right, so today is 29th of September, and which shows that we are doing an awesome work here. Great leaders from different parts the world has been able to present on an aspect of technical analysis to us. The likes of Coach Mopiwa, Coach Musa, and other leaders, and then also myself. We've been here to share vital information about technical analysis with you guys. And so far as lesson, teaching and lesson has plans, we would also ensure that I think there are people that got along the way and they couldn't start with us because they happen to be beginners and they only joined the session not long ago. And most of them get confused with time. They keep asking, what is happening? How can we start this thing? How do we understand from the scratch? So we intend as this month, which is the month has already ended. So today we are going to do summary. We know we have a lot of things to learn, but we should also bear in mind our brothers who just joined us. They will also need something from us again. So um, I believe in consistency and also repeated action, right? Which simply means this month, today we are going to do summary. Today and tomorrow we are going to use to do summary and recap of all our sessions. Then probably tomorrow, that is Wednesday, we'll start afresh for beginners to also start following the process. Yeah, like I said. So what I'm going to do today is that I'm going to build two structures in the lesson. We would do a little recap and summary of what some of the things that we've discussed, and I'll chip in something new to also level up, right? To level up, which I have a very brief session that I will also add to level up this morning session. So I urge you, still invite your colleagues to join us. Let them be with us and let us all make the impact together. All right, so I believe you cannot hear me loud and clear. Before I start, you can hear me loud and clear. Give me one in the chat and let me know if you cannot hear me loud and clear. Give me one in the chat and let me know if you can all hear me loud and clear. That is awesome. Okay, that is great. That is great. Okay, so now before we proceed, we've had this session for a time now, and our main focus is to ensure that each and every trader would be able to analyze the market himself or herself. That is our focus. And like I've said in some of our sessions, it was a comment that I made, and we would see a way to handle that. Yes, of course, I had a response from some of you were asking how would beginners also handle that issue. So we have to make a better decision about that. So it is important for us to know if we continue to provide signals, we are not helping anyone, right? If you continue to provide signals, you are not helping anyone. That is the reason why these sessions are being organized all the time from Monday to Friday. And waking up 4:30 is not so easy, right? But we have to do so that everyone can be able to be conversant with the system, right? So I urge that sessions like this we shouldn't joke with it, right? Sessions like this we shouldn't joke with it because it will really be a help to us. That is the backbone of our business. If you don't know how to analyze the markets, you may face a lot of challenges in business, and it is important for you to understand that, right? So before you start, let me know if you, from whatever you've taught from the past 2 months, if you can use technical analysis to, or you can analyze the markets in your own little way based on what you've taught. Give me a 2 in the chat if you, based on what you've taught for the past 2 months or 3, if you can use part of it in your own little way to analyze the market. Give me a 2 in the chat. Give me 2 in the chat. Give me 2 in the chat. Let me know. Let me see. If you can analyze the market based on what you've taught for the past few months, give me a 2 in the chat. Wow, that is awesome. That is awesome. So we are about 63 on the platform. 63 on the platform. That is okay. So if you can analyze, give me 2 in the chat. Give me 2. All right. So let me see. If you cannot analyze, so remove that one. That is, I'm talking about analysis. I'm not talking about decision making, right? So if you cannot analyze, if you still don't know how to analyze, give me 1 in the chat. Let me see how many people cannot analyze so far. Give me 1 to see if you cannot analyze. Give me 1 for me to see if you cannot analyze. Okay, so give me 1 and let me see if you can't analyze yourself. All right. Okay, so let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, more so. I see. Okay. But some of you are telling lies because I can see some old gangsters here telling me they cannot analyze the markets. That is a very big lie. Hmm? That is a very big lie. I can see full grown up men and women, some with beards, some with shaved beards, who have been joining this session for the past 2 months. And yet they want to tell me they cannot analyze. That is not true. You see, that is not true. eh? That is not true. So to be here for the past 2 months and say you cannot analyze, it is not true. Do you get it? Yeah. So some with white, gray hair. All right. So let me share my screen and let's proceed with today's agenda. So we are going to do a lot of practice now. We started this session from is it candlesticks? Trading, how to use TradingView, the setups on TradingView, um, candlestick pattern, chart patterns. We took them one after the other. And I remember Coach Musa did very well. Coach Mo did very well in that session. And from there, we talk about support and resistance. We talk about indicators. From there, we also talk about smart money concepts, using loss algo, and series of information has also been shared. We've talked about how to combine indicators to make analysis. We talk about sentimental analysis, fundamentals, how to combine them to make market analysis. We did all these things, and they are all recorded on our YouTube channel, right? They are all recorded on our YouTube channel, which simply means at your own convenient time, if you get opportunity, you can go on YouTube to search for it and make good use of the information presented, right? And make good use of the what of the information presented there. So don't hesitate at your own convenient time. Go there and also make good use of that. So today, what we are going to do, like I said, since we already have most of the foundation, today is just let me turn off this thing. All right. So I have a bare chart here. That is a plain chart, and um, we'll just use few of our sessions, some of the lessons that you've learned. I have questions to ask you so that it can help us. Then after that, I'll use few minutes to chip in a very interesting session. Or yeah, and I guess you're already maybe you may be familiar with it or not. That is pivot points. I'll do that with you. Then we bring the session to an end. So from most of the things that you've learned, you've studied about indicators, you've studied about time frames, charts, chart patterns, and indicators, and so on and so forth, right? And one thing that as a trader you need to know is you can't know everything. That is one thing that you need to know. You can't know everything, but you need more information. Yes, in as much as you need more information, those information are there to guide you, to build you, to make good decisions in the market. So your responsibility is to be able to use a part of your knowledge to analyze to analyze the market. Is to use a part of your knowledge to be able to analyze the market. And now, when you look at this particular chart, there is always one thing that makes difference on every chart, right? There is always one thing that makes a pure difference on every chart. And to those, that is time frames and then also the candles. And that is where a trader first, your communication should be built on this. And after understanding these concepts, you feel so relaxed to move in the market. And mostly the question that you've been taught and asked so far, what time frame should I use? What time frame should I use? And it seems those who joined the Saturday session, it was a very interesting session that I took time to simplify what do you mean by time frames and how it was very effective, right? So just like I said, this is a summary of all the sessions that you've done. And mostly in trading, if you really enjoy every session of the market or on the charts, it's about how you apply the time frames. Okay. So if you can be able to apply good time frames or time frames on the charts, know what you mean by time frame and how it works, I think that will be your basics, and then also it will push you up to your journey in a very smooth way. Now, looking at this particular chart as an example, we have a minimum. Okay, so let me start using the pointer. Okay, we have scheduled right from this minimum price to what is up here, that is 2.2.00, right? Now, within this angle, that is where we are seeing what we call the time the chart, right? And over here, looking at this particular candle, look at this particular candle. Okay, on every chart, every candle that we see represents, that is, a particular time within what something is happening. And for instance, maybe this is a candle. Okay, let's assume this is a bearish candle, so let me use red instead. Let me use red. This is a bearish candle, and if this is a bearish candle, this is what is going to happen. Let's say it's red. So this place is called open. This is open. This is close. This is close. um High, and then also low, right? Now, on this particular candlestick that you see here, it's representing a particular time frame. So each candlestick that we see on a chart represents a particular time frame, and that is what helps traders to understand the entire chart. So whatever we see here, right from this to wherever, if you see the chart, if you understand, it starts working from the left to right, right? So it has already started operating from the backwards before getting here. So all this candlestick that you see represent a particular time within which something happened, right? And all these things has been taught effectively by great leaders before, right? And getting these concepts really helps you to understand market communication, right? Even before you proceed to indicators, time frames with the candles are important, because if you want to know how do I enter the market, it's about your time frame. The time frame to use is important. So before you know, all these things helps the trader to be able to know. All right, so looking at this particular candle, you can see if this is a bullish candle starts from the opening, starts from the top here, and then it closed here. So maybe it may have high and then low, that is a weak high and then also a weak what low. This is this line that you see here, right? So the highest price of all and then the lowest price of all, this is where the market was open by sellers began pushing. It was open here and then also it closed here, right? So if I look at these things, what can help the trader to be able to learn and understand, grasp the total concept of this particular chart is by coming here. If you look at the 4-hour time frame, the trader would understand that this single candlestick that you see here, each candlestick that you see here represents, let me see, okay, we are back again on Zoom and this particular thing. The last time it happened to Coach Musa. Uh, Let me unshare. All right. So each of these candlesticks that we can see, each of them over here, because it is on the 4-hour time frame. Look at it here below. You can see 4 hours. It simply means this particular asset is presently on the 4-hour time frame, right? So for a trader to make visible decisions in the market, there are basic concepts, like maybe we have the 4 hours, 1 hour, 15 minutes, or even 30 minutes, 15 minutes. We also have 5 minutes, and these are the basic this thing that a lot of people love using to analyze the market, especially so far as day trading is concerned, right? So far as day trading is concerned, these are some of the special time frame that people base to make decisions. So we uses all these time frames to ensure that we can be able to interpret these candlesticks, because whatever that happens in each part of the market happen based on a particular time. Okay, and you have to understand that when we talk of the time frame, that does not necessarily mean a market would, or a trade will surely deal have a you have a sure deal within that 15 minutes, right? That is not what it means, but that is, it simply means how this particular candle, this one candlestick here, is working within this particular time frame, being it 1 hour, 15 minutes or 30 minutes, and that is what helps the trader to understand market communications, right? So after understanding some of these things, we've added indicators, right? And that is what exactly what we are going to do. We've added the indicators, we've added different sessions which help us to do what, analyze the market based on different time frames. So for instance, when we are to change this particular time frame, so since it's a summary, you'll be given the opportunity to ask questions as well. So for instance, when we change this for on the 4 hour time frame to 1 hour time frame, you can see whatever that we saw. You can see whatever that we saw on the 4 hour time frame. Yeah, looking at it on a different moment. Can you see it here? I guess you can see. So we are looking at this on a different within the period of 1 hour. What is happening is different, right? Which simply means on the 4 hour time frame, one candlestick represents 4 hours, right? But on the 1 hour time frame, it is four different candlesticks, four different candlesticks that is representing all that we saw there as one, right? So it is four of this that will give us one of this information, right? Four of this candlestick, that is what is going to give you one of this information, which simply means each time frame matters a lot, and you should be able to understand the communication that exists within a time frame, right? You should be able to understand the communication that exists within time frames, and it will help the trader to be able to interpret the market in a very sensitive or well managed way, right? So now, after me being able to understand these concepts, I need to add up whatever strategy that I want to add, right? Please hold on, sorry. What catch your Odogago? Oh, where right? Okay, no problem. All right, sorry guys. Let's proceed. So, looking at this will help you to get a better communication. And now, the next thing that you need to do, you can choose to either add indicators or use what you call support and resistance. So, in most of our lessons or in some of our sessions, we talk about support and resistance as well. And with support and resistance, it even makes things so easy for the trader to be able to use to do what analyze the market. So, using that, let me now bring that in. Let me see. So, for instance, you have this particular chart. We can extend it. Okay, you can extend it very well. And I guess last Saturday, I'm sorry, all right. So I guess last Friday, Coach Musa did justice to some of these things very well about deeper explanation on support and resistance, and you grasp all the concepts. And this is the exact thing. So if you are a trader, you understand some of this communication, you've understood your candles with its communication on the what on the time frame, you would be able to draw support and resistance. And basically, the idea of you see, I'm the guy that I always want to simplify things for you to understand. So over here, I'm not teaching, but I'm just wrapping up things. Then we analyze market together, right? Then we analyze market together. So what helps traders to be able to identify key areas of support and resistance is first, when we talk of the support, you should understand the support as an area on a chart where the that is the lowest price level or not on a chart. That is where you can see or locate it as your support. And then the resistance, maybe the highest price area where an area on a chart where the price got rejected. That is where you may locate it as your support. First, after understanding that, there are different areas like the current price of your chart or on a chart can also be identified as a key support or resistance area, right? So for instance, looking at the chart, we can observe to see this is just a chart, so there is no need going back through. Well, you can choose to scroll it and then check it out. If you have a very tough or a large shared screen, that'll help you. That one will be fine. But then if not, you just let's look at this. Okay, so let me take time. All right, so I guess this one too would help us. Good. So looking at this particular chart, you can be able to identify the lowest price level on a chart and then also the highest price level. And when we talk of this price level, basically they are just how the candles have been able to take effect within a period of time, that is within the past 1 hour. That is, it's because it's on the 1 hour time frame, right? So just analyzing through, you may be able to identify the key area, the last price drop on the chart, and then also the current price on the chart, right? I believe you can all see. I believe you can all see. Mind you, I'm wrapping up. So if you don't take care, you may be confused here, and you are not supposed to be confused, right? So looking at this particular chart, you may be able to see all these things. Let me see. So you will be able to draw your support and resistance. And what support and resistance does is it will help you, the trader, to know where you make decision. Either you should go on uptrend direction or downward direction, because at the end of the day you can be able to know where the price got rejected, the direction or the trend of the market, where it is presently going. Is it going to break the resistance, or it's going to fall below your resistance or support line, right? And that is what gives the trader the confidence to make specific decisions in the market. So for instance, on this particular chart, you can decide to draw your personal, what is this one too? You can decide to draw your personal support and resistance. And even in some of our sessions, we also talk about some of the special indicators that can simplify things for you by helping you to identify key support and resistance areas on the charts. And for instance, we talk about the Fibonacci, right? So if you are not using if you are not using all those indicators, you can just observe this particular chart. Look at areas, the lowest price on a chart and then also the highest price on a chart. So the lowest price area on a chart would be your support zone, then the highest price on a chart would also be your resistance zone, right? So if you want to draw support and resistance, ideally you are not supposed to stress yourself. Just look at the chart. When you look at the chart, the lowest price zone on the chart should be your support area, the highest price should be your resistance, or the current price. And mostly it's the best to go for is the current price, because the present trend at which the market is really trading as, that will give you the best price. And sincerely, looking at this particular chart, I can tell you that by the time you finish with this session, whoever that is going to long or short this particular asset would make profit. We are not analyzing yet. I'm just teaching you something, right? So whoever that is going to short this particular asset, by the time we finish with this meeting, a percentage of profit will be made at the end of the session, right? So if you look, because on, for instance, we talk about our time frames, right? We just talk about what is happening. We just talk about time frames, and looking at this particular time frame, for instance, if we observe the 4 hour time frame, for instance, come here. If we observe the 4 hour time frame, now let's picture something here. Let's picture out something here. If we observe the 4 hour time frame now, we can observe to see who are in control using the candles, right? Now back to on 1 hour time frame too. You can also observe to see who are in control using this is just the candles. Yes, aside that, you may be able to use the different parts of the candles to identify what can really what's happening. Then considering your 15-minute or 30-minute time frame to, let's see, 15 minutes. Very good. On the 15-minute time frame too, you can also be able to access to see what is happening. Now, maybe if you are too inquisitive and sensitive, you can choose to add even the 5-minute time frame. Well, but it is not necessary. You get it. So on the 5-minute time frame too, you can also observe to see what is happening here. Well, so the next thing that you are doing is you can draw your support and not support and resistance. And support and resistance will be able to help you to feature all those areas. So let's assume this is the chart. mm, So if maybe you are taking your support zone to be this area, okay, if this area that is the lowest price drop, okay, so maybe you may consider this area to be your key support zone. Then looking at the chart, this is the presently this is the current price, but you can also drag it to see if you get a clearer of it. So in this case, if you have a very bigger picture of the chart like this and not limited to what our screen can provide, then definitely you can be able to we can be able to figure it out within this region, right, to place our support zone there. And then looking at the current price, we can also place our the next line here, right? So that is the idea. Now the next thing is that you can also use different indicators to feature out your supports and then resistance zones or not on the chart. And some of one of the best indicators, like I said, that can also help traders is what you called oh wow, let me get back. It seems I'm going without observing if my audience are with me. My audience with me? Are you with me? Are you with me? No, someone saying the charts are two colors. Can you explain? The charts are two colors. Can you explain? Mm, all right, that is good. Okay, so let's proceed. It seems I'm speeding up. Am I speeding up the lesson? Am I speeding up? So that I take time. Mm. Am I speeding up the lesson? Okay. Yes, so my dear asking about the colors are two. I guess that's the main reason why these sessions, all our lessons will be taught back starting from Wednesday. So take your time. I guess my what is am I sharing my screen? Hope you can see my screen.
No, 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 bro, you're not sharing the screen.
Mm, all right.
Yeah.
So so just my dear lady wants to know these colors that she's seeing, what it means. She's seeing two colors. So that is the bullish and then the bearish. But then please don't worry. You understand better, okay, when the session begins again. So now we can also we discussed in previous sessions that you can also use indicators to identify. And one of the indicators that you can also use to identify support and resistance on a chart, which I really love it. Maybe we've not gone in depth into that in most of the sessions in our previous sessions, so to which it will be an additional attached session to whatever we've learned will be what you call pivot points. And um so pivot point standard, right? So on your trading view, you'll be able to see what you call pivot point standard, that is PP. Pivot points. And the work of pivot points is very simple. So if you are the type, okay, if you are the type, before I proceed with that, let me say this. So there are some people too that sometimes they prefer to draw their personal support and resistance, and it becomes so challenging to them. So I remember in one of our sessions, we talk about the fact that if you want to do that, what can help you to be able to draw a simple support and resistance line is to understand the different charts. Okay, we have different charts, and this chart that you see, this is what we call, this is a type of chart called candles. This is a type of chart called candles. Okay, this is a type of chart called what's candles, right? This is a type of chart called what's candles, and this helps the trader to be able to analyze the market based on the idea of by a great man called Onisa, right? And he built that idea. Knowledge about what trading it's helped us to get the concept. So not only do we use, someone is saying you are not showing your screen. Is my screen not visible? Can you see my
Yeah,
screen?
it is visible.
It's visible. Okay. Right. So please check your network. Right. So if using the course to draw your support line is too difficult, the easiest way you can do that is by coming to use this TradingView tool. So click here on settings, right? Click on settings. Then you can see over here we have chart type, right? Chart type. So if using that is too difficult, just type on it and change the charts. We have different charts here, just like the candles. Candles is also a form of chart, okay, a display on the chart. Okay, that is what we call it, candles, right? So we also have lines, and the lines also help you to also identify trends. And it's even so easy. Hmm? It's even so easy. So for instance, let me tap on this to check out something very good. Line width makers, right? But actually that is not what you actually need. Let me see. You can use the line, right? So the line width makers, it seems they are almost the same. Let me see. Okay. So let's use the line width makers. Now over here it's simple. So just as what we've been observing, okay, the previous one that we've been observing, that is the candles, looking at the highs, the lows. The lines also display the same thing, and you'll be able to identify areas where the price goes up. So when the price is going up, you see that the line is also going up. When it's coming down, you see the line coming down. That is how it displays. All these things are what we call them the charts, right? So the charts really help the trader to be able to understand the ups and downs, what we call them the trend. The ups and downs would be able to be understood well by using some of the charts. Okay, so in this case, if I am using maybe this particular lines, and if I don't understand the candles, the lines would help me to know how market is moving. So looking at this particular area, okay, look within this particular region, okay, within this region, and you can see what actually happened, right? And you can see, so you also observe this, you observe through this, and then you can understand what is happening, right? You may see how the market went to up, how it came down, and this what we may proceed to call it market structure. I'm simplifying things and recapping all these things for you to grab the concepts, right? So looking at how all these things are going is what we term them as the structure of the market. How the price came very down, how it went very up, how it came down again, how it went up, how it came down. So looking at all these things, that is what we term them as the structure of the market. So you look at it, how it has been able to arrange itself is what we are terming as the structure, right? So if maybe drawing support and resistance line are too difficult for you, what I've been saying is, and I've been simplifying for you to do, you should just come here, just change your chart to line, okay? Just change it from chart to line, and within that, you may be able to see. So looking at this particular, let me see, looking at this particular line, now you can observe to know the lowest line, the lowest line, okay, the lowest line, and that may fall below here, and then we look at the highest line that may fall below here. Then these are the actual distance that is also here. So mostly if you want to draw support and resistance and you are too confused with the candles, what can easily help you is by using the charts, right? So using the lines, sorry, if you use the lines, you'll be able to draw your support and resistance. So wherever you see this vein, is it A or V, that place may be your resistance. And wherever you see this is A, let's assume this is A, and then also this is V. So, or inverted V, and then inverted what? V. So this is V, this is inverted V, right? Very good. So wherever we see this, you can see this. So for instance, on this over here, you can see that. So wherever we see that, we choose to place a line of what? A line of resistance. So we draw it here. You can see below, we draw it here. We choose to draw it here. We choose to draw it here, right? So you choose to draw the line at different points where the price keeps going up, having a peak and having a high peak and a low peak, right? And that is what will help you to be able to identify what you mean by support and resistance. So after doing that, when you go on your candles on the charts, when we turn it from chart lines to candles, you may have the same the same display, right? But more so, there are specific indicators, like I was about to talk about the pivots, the pivot point. And what the pivot point does is simple. Um, it helps you to, or it shows price level. It helps the trader to be able to identify price levels on using support and resistance. So at the end of the day, using what do you call pivot points, the trader may be able to identify or determine the overall market trend, either it is uptrend, downtrend, by using different support and resistance lines to identify those areas on the chart. So maybe if this is too difficult, we can choose to turn on the candles. So let's turn on the candles back. So mind you, you can have a display, and for now, time wouldn't permit us to do more because that is not our focus here. So maybe when we start a session again, we will take time to, I'll take, if God permitted, I don't know, I'm sure any leader who would handle that will surely do that. So all these different types of candles or charts will be explained, how it functions, how it works, and I guess it will be so great. Yeah, it will be so great, right? So just get back again, turn it from your line rate makers to candles. After turning it to candles, now you can see you have a display of your candles, right? However you want it to be displayed, you have it here. So after turning it on like this, let me see. Okay, is this display? It's okay. After turning it on like this, just tap on the settings again, come to indicators and search for PP, pivot points. So over here um, we have pivot points high, and then also pivot points low. Pivot points high and then pivot points low. Pivot point extension, Those are not what we needed. So we are going to choose pivot point standard. Pivot point standard. Let me see. So we're going to choose this one. The second one, pivot point, what? Pivot point standard. So just tap on it peacefully. And after tapping on it peacefully, you proceed with your journey. So come to the chart. Now getting back on the chart, you may be able to observe all this clearly. Then you may see different lines on what are the charts. And the question is, oh, what is all these lines and how do I even understand the communication on the line, right? How do I even understand the communication on the line? And it's very simple. So pivot points has helped a lot of people, a lot of us in trading, and it's a help you to be able to understand support and resistance without the need for you to still get back, draw it again, right? So just like you drawing it, using the what we call the charts or the lines to draw different support and resistance, where you can also choose to name it maybe support one, sorry, resistance 1, resistance 2, resistance 3, since the lines are many. So because we said wherever you see the inverted, right, if it's V, you name it as support. If it is inverted vein, you name it as resistance. So maybe you may have many inverted veins and then veins. So that may be, maybe you may choose to name it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, based on how you've been able to mark them, right? And you use them to make decisions. So you're looking at the pivot point to the pivot points, actually it's also a line, okay, which identifies support and resistance areas on a chart, right? So like I said, during the recap, I'll be attaching few things that I will not be able to rush up to do them specifically, but then I'll attach them to the session, then we proceed. Because there are still new members who would also get back again. And I know as we keep learning, they get confused with time. They get confused because they do not start from readers, and ending readers becomes so difficult for them, right? So that is it. Let me know if you are following the session. Let me see if you are following the session. Are you following? Are you following? Come on, I'm seeing something. All right. Okay. Someone say not clear. Which part of it is not clear now? I've not started with the pivot points. So which part of it is not clear now? Hmm? Hmm? The problem of not clear, which part of it is not clear now? Which one should I come again? Hmm? Which one? Uh, 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 okay. All right, let's proceed. Now, we are not saying anything too big deal. We're not saying anything too big deal. Talking about support and resistance, still on the same language, right? Still on the same language. And why it matters? It matters because it'll help traders to be able to um, identify areas where they can make personal entries in the market, right? So you keep seeing, observing this CTFI performing magic. And I guess you saw the price when we started this meeting. Anyway, let's proceed. Mhm. So how did we manage to get this? It's very simple. Let me close it. Now this is a bear chart, okay? A pure chart. When I say bear chart, I mean a pure one. Okay. Yes, this is what we have here. Now, you just need to get back here below. Look at where. All right. Look at this area. Now, looking at this part area, you will see settings, right? Just tap on it, settings, click on indicators. When you click on indicators, come here, search for pivot points. Pivot points. Once just tap on, just type pivot and where is it? Right? You have pivot point standard. Hmm? That is what you need, pivot point standard, right? So just after tapping on it, this is what you have. Did you get it now? The person asking, it's not clear. Where did I get it? Is it okay now? This morning, I'm free. So I'm free in mind. I don't want to. Yeah. Can you see it? So the person asking, where did I get it? Are you okay now? Do you get it now? All right. How to get the points? Let me see. After knowing support, then what? Do short recaps on the useful of all types of candles. And there, this is not the time for me to do that. Don't worry. The time will come. Mhm. The time will come. So I've told you the session, all the candlestick or all the technical analysis session will begin, if God permits, 1st of October. So just don't rush. Yes, both on laptop and then on your personal phone, you can use it. Both on laptop and your device, it's available there. So let's proceed. Now, why use pivot point? Like I said, pivot point helps the trader to be able to identify the overall trend, right? Especially where the trend is actually moving, where the trend is actually moving. It helps you to get someone will say gist of the trend. Hmm? Let me see. Let me arrange them well. Very good. Now you can proceed to do the settings. So tap on the settings. When you tap on the settings, we have the traditional and then Fibonacci, Woodle, Classic. So you can either change it to make it change it to Fibonacci, and we've talked about Fibonacci, right? Tomorrow, if God permits, I will expand more on that too, or Woodle. So let me see something. Okay. But I prefer to use Fibonacci or traditional. I prefer to use Fibonacci or traditional. So um let's look at the Fibonacci display. Yeah, still the same. So um or traditional. So either Fibonacci also. Then you come to the pivot time frame. Let it be on auto. Auto. Then you also have the show labels, right? So personally, the market move from left to right. So it's okay to leave it on left, right? So then after that, you come to the line. We have support 1, support 2, support 3, support 4, support 5. So if I'm to turn on everything now, where is it? Why is it off? Let me see. Uh, Hmm. So you can choose to, but then it's supposed to be on. Why? And normal circumstance, this thing is supposed to turn on. I turn it off myself. I don't know why it's not getting on. Anyway, so we have support one, support two, but you don't need all plenty support. Just need at least three of them. So you turn on the support one, support two, support three. Then the R1, R2, R3, two. That is resistance one, resistance two, resistance three. So looking at this particular chart, okay. Oh, sorry. Looking at this particular chart, let me scroll down to see if there is. So that is all. Then let me see the label style visibility. Mm, yes. So you can also change the colors. Maybe you can choose to change the colors of all the um, supports, right? So let's say blue. Let's say the supports would be identified as what? As blue. Then the resistance would remain to be yellow, right? So let's turn it on. Okay. So now looking at this particular chart as an example, we are seeing all this here. We have the pivot points line, and mm, all right. So you can see we have R1. Let me see where is um this is the pivot point. We have um resistance one, two. Where is the third one? This is the third one, right? Very good. Then also we also have support one, support two, support three, right? So at the end of the day, the support and resistance are there to communicate to the trader to understand trend and how those trends can impact the trader's decision. They are there to communicate to the trader to impact the to impact for you to understand the market trend and how those impacts can or how those trends can help you to make an informed decision. So for instance, you look at this particular chart. Let me see. So looking at this particular chart, present, this is your pivot point, right? You see P. I don't know if I'm the one not seeing it. Let me extend the line to see. Very good. So this is pivot, right? This is the pivot point. Now, below the pivot points, okay, this is where we are identifying the various support and resistance areas. That is our first support, resistance, first resistance, second resistance, third resistance. Then also below it, we are also seeing the support one, support two, support three. Now, so pivot points basically came with this idea. I don't know that I should bring in this or it's not necessary. Okay, let me add this. Now, pivot point standard came from this idea of how candles used to open and then not close, right? How candles used to open and then close. So, like I said, um, the idea of candle pivot point came as a result of this, looking at what happens in the market on every single candles or chart. That is HOCL. Now, what's the full meaning of this for? Let me see if my students followed sessions. Mind you, we've done a lot of things, so this is just a recap of what we've done and how we can apply them. So HOCL. Now, what are the? These are just short terms for something. Type the answers in the chat box. What's the meaning of H? Type the answer in the chat box. What's the meaning of H on a candle? So we said each candle happens to have this, and then with this we have so we have this. Mm, mm. So type the answers. What is the meaning of H? What's the meaning of O? What's the meaning of C? What's the meaning of L? Type your answer in the chat box and let me see if you are indeed following the meaning of H, the meaning of O, the meaning of C, the meaning of L. Okay, only one person. Okay, very good, very good. All right, good, good, very good. Okay, that is awesome. That is awesome. I love the way you are smart to provide great answers. All right, let's proceed. That is good. So let's proceed. Mm, okay. So now, someone is saying there are no traditional settings. This person is taking us back. If you look at this particular, where is it? We have traditional. Isn't all this? We have traditional, right? So either traditional, Fib, traditional, model. So just using this and let's proceed. There is no time to waste here, right? So over here, you have all this here. And what we are saying is that now the idea of pivot points came as a result of how candles used to open, and it's based on certain mathematical ideas, which I don't think it's very necessary, but I can briefly explain something small. Yes, someone is saying it's yes, all these lessons will be taught again. So please, for those of you who join us late, you may find it difficult to understand them, but just relax. Mm. So the idea of support one came, or yeah, the idea of support one came as a result of two pivot points. Okay, so it says that it's just a formula that it says two times pivot points. Okay, mm? Two times the pivot points minus the highest price. If we take this particular chart, or let's take beta. Let me change this to, if you take BTC as an example, let's BTC. Let's price BTC on a candle on the chart that we did 120,000. Then the lowest price was let's say 16,000. Okay, 16,000. All right, 16,000. The opening price was around how much we see? Let's say 120,000, right? And then the closing price too. So over here, the purpose of the pivot point is that it has done the calculations based on the high, the opening, and then the close, and it is giving you the values of those pivot points, and then that is those supports and resistance. So that is the reason why you have exactly got the value of the pivot point here, then also the resistance value, the support, the resistance 1, resistance 2, resistance 3. So let's turn it off and go back. Now let me go straight to the point. What do we use, or how can we use the pivot points? Even the pivot points, like we said, we've discussed a lot of things, right? And using pivot points, one of the keys that you can combine pivot point with other indicators like MACD, right, or RSI. But then how do we use it? So with the support one, we all know that when we talk of the support, that is a ceiling point on a price. Then when we talk of the resistance, that is a floor or not of a price, right? So we look at the trend of the market. Now, if it happens that the price breaks below the pivot point, stepping to the support. Now, if the price breaks below the pivot point, we can say that it is what? It is bearish, right? And if it breaks above the pivot point, a trader can be able to discover that as what? As a bullish what? A bullish trend. So in this case, it happens now. Looking at this particular trend, uh, let me get back. Okay. Now looking at this particular trend, pivot point. This is our pivot point, and the trend are already breaking. Okay, it's already getting down to breaking below the pivot point. So what we are saying is that if it happens that if the price is above the pivot point, that is, it gives you the opportunity to do or to it gives you a buying opportunity, that is either longing the market, or if you're a spot trader, you have the opportunity to do or to buy the assets, right? Then also, if it happens that the pivot point, the price breaks below, when it breaks below the pivot point, it gives you a selling opportunity. So it simply means before we can be able to trade on this, we need to wait to see if there will be the price will be able to break below the pivot point, and that gives you a clear indication of the trend of the market. Please let me know if you understand. 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 Mm. Let me know. Someone say come again. Mm. How did we get here? We just got here. We got here by getting here. Mm. Is that my Amaka Tracy or different person that is asking that question? Okay, so someone is saying, then please let's change the asset to see it's breaking. So it's not clear. Please repeat. Not clear. Please repeat. Let me see. So come again. All right. Now, our language is simple. Let me change the assets. Okay. Let me change the asset to see. Oh, God. Oh, sorry. Let me see. Okay, let's change the assets. Let's change the assets. Let's change the assets. Which asset should we use? The network or Uh, can you hear me? Let me see if I'm on the line. It's network. Mm. So let's say BTC. Let's use BTC. Let's search for it. Why? Why is the network doing so? Hmm? Who is holding the network? Who is holding the network? Oh my goodness. What's happening? Let me see. Someone is saying, what is that? This is TradingView. We are using TradingView. Hmm? Someone is saying our village people. So your village people are holding the network like that. Village people are holding the network like that. Okay, so Jup USDT, SKL USDT. I see. Let's see. Oh, okay, okay. So now let's proceed quick. Let's see BTC. We have only spots here. Yes, yeah. Okay. Let me see. If you'll be able to get now. It's tasks. Okay. Let's use this. Okay, man. No, I don't think this is our actual the original BTC diagram. So just pay attention to what's here. Very good. So now what we are saying is simple. Okay. What we are saying is simple. Now, this what we are saying is that help the reader to be able to identify key areas like the support and resistance. And before you do that, first it's about understanding areas where price communicates, right? So for instance, using pivot points over here, this is our pivot point. This is a pivot point. And what we are saying is that if it happens that price breaks above the pivot point, it indicates areas of buying opportunities. And when the price breaks, also when it breaks below the pivot point, it also indicates selling opportunities. So now looking at this, has this broken the line? Has this broken above or it has broken below? Has this broken above or it has broken below? Let me know the answer in the chat. Has this broken above the chart or below? Above or below? Let me see. Gradual. Above or below? Above. Okay, good. Very good. Very good. Very good. So if you are using the pivot point, first, it helps you to identify, okay, the price level. You know the price level by being able to know the overall market trend, right? By being able to know the overall market trend, that is the first thing that the pivot points over here it does for you. So if you are using the pivot points, at least first you'll be able to identify the trend. Now we have, if it's below, we have the support 1, support 2, and then support 3. So these are levels where the prices may either stop, right? Or the resistance may be the area where the price may continue, right? Sometimes I'm loving this session. So when you look at the pivot point, okay, when we look at the pivot points now, we will be able to identify the market trend. If it breaks above the pivot points, we'll be able to know the trend and where we are supposed to head towards. And if it also breaks below, we will also be able to identify the trend and then also know where we are supposed to position ourselves. Right. So over here we have the what do we call the support and then the resistance. So if I know that price has break below the pivot points, which first indicate to me the trader that there is going to be, that is the trend is what is bearish, right? It's highly possible that it is what it is bearish. What I can do is I can take a measure between right from my pivot point towards to my support support, right, right from that point to my first support area. If I am too greedy enough, I will extend it to the second support, right? But what we are saying is that in this case, we can also choose to have a special confirmation. Do you get it? We can also choose to have a special confirmation by using other indicators. Hmm? By using other indicators to confirm. Indeed, it's helping us to make the right choice or the right decision. It's please keep it clear. So in the manner, if it breaks above the resistance, if it breaks above the pivot point, I know where I should draw my line and how the price reacts to the various resistance line, either resistance 1, resistance 2, or resistance what? Resistance 3. Do you get it? So I believe if we get the concepts right, I don't know, either tomorrow I should add up that before we sum up everything. I don't know, either tomorrow I should add up sum up add the conclusion part of it. So in conclusion, or let me extend it to maybe tomorrow we shall do a little bit of it, right? So looking at this, first, if I want to use pivot points, like for instance, that is support and resistance. This is that support and resistance we've been talking about, but over here, this indicator has simplified things for us. And maybe tomorrow I will take time to teach you how the calculation of the support and the pivot points also works, right? So price breaking below and then above would give you a better confidence, right? Now, in the case of let's say resistance, sorry, in the case of support or resistance, if it happens that the price breaks below, right, the support 1, if it happens that the price breaks below the support 1, that gives you a strong confirmation that there is a bearish continuation. There is what? A bearish continuation. So for instance, this is our support. Okay, this is support 1, right? and this is the key area, the price. Now, should it happen that the price has already broken below the pivot point, should it happen that it also breaks below the support one, it firmly indicates a bearish continuation signal. And in same manner too, if it happens that the pivot point, okay, sorry, it breaks above the resistance one here, it also indicates a bullish continuation signal. Give me one in the chat if you understand what you are saying. Give me one if you understand what you're saying. Give me one. Give me one and let me know if you understand. Give me one. Let me know if it's clear. Give me one and let me know if it's very clear. Give me one and let me know if it's very clear. Give me one. Yeah. Mm. Oh, someone said show your screen, but my screen is visible. Okay, very good. All right. Are we good to go? Are we good to go?
Yes, we are, but
Are
your
we?
screen is not visible.
My
Please
screen
stop
is not
sharing.
visible. Is it visible now?
Not yet.
Uh,
Yeah,
okay.
you started sharing now. Thank you.
All right. So over here, the communication of the pivot point is very simple. And looking at this, we are talking about the break below and then the break above. So on the first point of support one, and the first point of support one, if it's happening that it breaks below this support one level, the trader would be able to have a firm idea that it is bearish continuation, right? And if it happens that the price also breaks above that is the resistance one, that is also indicates a bullish continuation. So over here, what can help us is, mind you, we've talked about various types of indicators, and we can also add indicators to make confirmations, right? So if God permit tomorrow, we shall look at some of the indicators that we can add and how to interpret them to make confirmations using pivot points. And it's going to be an awesome session. So please, guess we've spent enough time here this morning, almost 2 hours, 4:30 to 6:12. Yeah. So I'll prefer we end there, but before we end, let me know if you have a question to ask. If that question is supposed to be penned to tomorrow, then to be answered tomorrow. But then if not, let me see. So now some of my struggles to draw the support and resistance has been broken to freedom. Yeah, that is very true. So thank you. I wish to really know how to use the pivot points. Yes, so now I guess you can know the recorded session 2 was set. It will be on YouTube and you'll be able to get it. So my alarm is set for tomorrow, yeah. So let me see. I want to know the best time to enter the market when you are using pivot points. All right, so tomorrow we shall look at all those things. Tomorrow, if God permits, we shall look at that in conclusion as part of our lesson conclusion on that. Okay, so let me see if there is any question. If there is any other question. All right, thank you too. So I believe we will end here. Today is Monday. Presently, okay, let's see if time permits us to do the trade settings. Someone, a leader would handle that session. I have to go to town this morning. Help me with the settings of smart money concepts. help me with the session. So if God permit, please, Shadrach, we would also add it, give a tip on that tomorrow in tomorrow's session. So relax. Thank you. It was a great class. Can we have it again tomorrow? Yes, we will do that. All right. So yeah. So guys, we will end here. It seems we have another session which will be communicated on the platform very soon. So we will end here. If God permits, tomorrow this session would continue for us to wrap up with all the parts of the session that we've done so far. So let's go out there, let's keep learning, let's keep growing, and the best of all would happen to us surely. Mm? So goodness and mercy shall follow us all the days of our life. So let's go out there and get the good results. Let me see if my leaders are around. If there is any, okay, there is a hand up. So Florence, please kindly so Coach Mo, please, if there is any announcement or any information or addition to what we've discussed this morning, please you can help us to do that before we bring the session to an end.
Good morning, Leader Manuel and the other leaders, the entire community. I don't have anything on my side. Yeah, just waiting for the next sessions that are coming up. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much and God bless you. Okay, so I believe brothers and sisters, we will bring this session to an end. If God permit, tomorrow we shall continue to end and wrap up everything. All right, so and mind you, tomorrow is going to be a very long session, maybe 3 hours or more. Yeah, so get prepared because tomorrow we'll end everything. Then we'll start up again because I can see most new members are here and some of the things are getting them confused as we keep proceeding with sessions. So we will do that. Okay, so since our leaders don't have anything for us, we will end here. Leader OBM, is he on the line? Okay, I guess he left. All right, so we will end here. If there is nothing again, if God permit, tomorrow we shall meet. God bless you and stay blessed. Okay, bye and love you all.